Hi, hello everybody, welcome back, hope you're all well. Lately I've been really inspired by a couple of Swedish photographers, Töve and Gerry Johansson. Fantastic photographers. I even picked up Töves book Grusväg or Gravel Road and I've just been really enjoying it. The composition is simple, but they are so deliberate and all the images feel like they belong in the same world. Fantastic work really. Their way of seeing is exactly what I'm trying to put out in Mellanrummet, my project Mellanrummet, or as you know it, the spaces in between. While studying their work, or maybe studying is maybe a little bit exaggerated, but while looking at their work, I noticed something they are doing that I'm not. So while I channel my inner Töve and Johansson today, I thought we would talk about this skill that these great photographers and many others have mastered, but us normies completely miss. So as I mentioned, I noticed a few things while diving into Töve's and Johansson's work. On the surface, their photography is very different. Töve is often more landscape-oriented, focusing on fields, roads, and the space where nature meets society. Johansson, on the other hand, is usually more focused on cities and towns, capturing the details of urban and rural life. But what they both have in common is how they capture a very specific feeling. They both use that long, tonal grayscale to communicate a sense of emptiness, solitude, and stillness. A feeling that really resonates with my project Mellanrummet. It's a powerful visual language that goes beyond the subject matter itself. So here's the thing. Most of the time when I'm out with my camera, I see something, I pick up the camera and I take the shot. And then just continue walking. And yeah, sometimes I end up with a photo that I actually really like. But the problem is that most of the photos I take don't really belong anywhere. They're just single photos. And that's when I started to look a little bit more critical at my own work. One of the biggest differences I noticed between what I was doing and the photographers I admire is that their images always feel like they're a part of something bigger. Which brings me to the actual subject of this video, shooting in a series. Or maybe a better way to put it, thinking in a series. Making photos that connect with each other, that build a little narrative, instead of chasing those just random one-offs. So how do you go from taking random single shots to building a series? Well, I kind of come up with my own framework for this, but at least I hope I've come up with it myself, otherwise I'm an idiot. And I call them the 3 C's. Concept, context, and connection. First, you need a concept, a single idea or question that ties everything together and gives your series a purpose. For my project, my concept is to explore those quiet moments in between. I want to capture the feeling of solitude and stillness that you find in quiet rural scenes and small town spaces. Things we normally just walk by without a second thought. But here's an issue that many photographers run into. Their photos for a project end up being a massive mixed bag. Currently for Mellanrummet I have pictures from the city, from the beach, from gravel roads like this and other similar scenes. I've also shot most of the photos in colors, but some in black and white as well. Initially, I'll admit, my project has been a little bit too broad, which have led to this lack of visual cohesion. While it has been a really good foundation, looking for those in-between moments, the things we normally just walk by without giving a second thought, it didn't give me enough direction. And it has ended up with me shooting a lot of random scenes that doesn't work together, without a clear focus. But now, with a more refined idea how I want to push the project further, going black and white, transforming my older images as well to black and white, I can start building a real story. And that's what a strong concept does. It gives your work a clear purpose and helps you decide what belongs and what doesn't. Next is context. Your photos should give the viewer a sense of place. When you're shooting in a series, you're not just trying to get a cool shot. shot. You're building a world. This doesn't always mean using a wide, medium and tight shot. Instead, it's about conveying the environment effectively. For my project, my context is the mood, the feeling of solitude and emptiness. Even though I'll be shooting different scenes, they all need to feel like they belong to this same peaceful, empty space. This creates a consistent visual tone that tells the viewer this is all part of the same place and the same story. By linking these various scenes with a shared feeling, you give your audience a complete sense of the world you've created. And finally, connection. And this is where you really separate a group of photos from a true series. Every photo should feel like they belong with others. The lighting should be consistent. The mood should be similar. And most importantly, they should all speak the same visual language. This isn't just about a shared feeling. It's about a consistent style and subject matter. For example, and I will take myself as the example, it's very difficult to get a cohesive flow when you're mixing color and monochrome, as they can convey very different feelings. Though not impossible, but definitely hard. It's also about having the same type of work. You don't want a photo of cars, then a flower and then people, unless they're actually connected within the same environment or narrative. Think about the feeling you want to convey. Is it peaceful, gritty, nostalgic? The goal is to make it that if you put all your photos on a wall, a stranger would immediately understand that this is a part of the same project. They connect with each other and they connect with the overall concept. And look, I'm no expert in building a photo series, far from it. But the realization by looking at great photographers' work has made it so much easier to see where my own work is going wrong and where I need to improve myself. And moving forward, this is definitely something I want to practice more. But this doesn't mean that every time I or you go out, we need to build a full series. Instead, this is a mindset for anyone who wants to progress further into their photography journey. And I definitely won't stop taking photos of things that stops me in my tracks. Because even if they have a different subject matter from one outing to another, I found that many of these photos often will fit together with others over time, creating a sense of a larger ongoing project. And that's why I think this is the single best skill that nobody teaches. It's not about making a project every single time you go out, but developing an eye for connections and giving your work a sense of purpose. So yeah, I guess that's the lesson, that's the skill. It's not about being the best photographer, it's about changing how you think about photography. The next time you go out, you don't feel like you have to make a full series. Just try to find a concept, capture the context, and look for the connections in the scenes around you. When you start thinking this way, you will find that even a few photos from a simple trip can build a powerful, cohesive story. It's a skill you can practice no matter what you're shooting. What do you think of this approach? Do you already think in series, or is this idea new to you? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like and consider subscribing. I appreciate it so much. But until next time, have a good day or evening whenever you're watching this. Out.